What's up, guys? How are we doing? Can you guys hear me? I don't know if anybody's in here. No, I don't think so. Give us some time. I don't see anyone in here, but anyway, it was round 5 at Redbud, and wow, I think we got a series now in the 250 class. I'm going to start with that first. So I don't know about you guys, but I did not see Hunter Lawrence crashing out of the second moto and have a complete flip flop from what we saw earlier this year, because all summer long it's been second moto Hunter Lawrence. He wins it and he wins the overall. This time, a complete flip flop. He wins the first moto and then goofs up in the second moto. Although I don't think that the crash was necessarily his fault. I mean, but one guy who went down in that first turn as well, besides Hunter Lawrence, one guy who really messed me up on the Pulp MX site was Jett Reynolds. I couldn't believe it. I mean, of course, he did work his way up back into a points position, but I thought that was a great day lining up for Jett Reynolds, and unfortunately, it went wrong in an instant. But fortunately for Hunter Lawrence, although it is his first loss of the season, of course, the reports were that he is okay, and that is a good sign. I think we will see him at the next round at Southwick, but we'll see. And for him to come out, and Lars Lindstrom, the Honda team manager, to say that Hunter Lawrence was okay, yeah, that's a very, very good sign, because that was a pretty ugly crash in that first turn. Now, I have to admit, I actually did not see it live, because I actually went out to help my dad with something real quick. But and then when I came in, that's when I saw Hunter Lawrence was down in the first turn, and his second moto was already over. But fortunately, Hunter Lawrence, 9th place overall with a 1:40. So obviously the series has tightened up in the 250 class, and the winner, of course, the winner of the second moto, Levi Kitchen. What a surprise there. How many of you would have picked Levi Kitchen to win the second moto? I certainly wouldn't have. I thought it was going to be all Hunter Lawrence all throughout the second motos. Because really, you look at how Hunter Lawrence has been. He's been the guy to beat. He was 4-0 up until today, and now he's 4-1. This kind of reminds you of James Stewart from back in the day. Except at that time, Stewart was all aces up until Redbud in 2004. And although Hunter Lawrence was all aces on overalls, he was kind of going every which way with the first motos up until he won the first moto this year, or at this race. And I tell you, when Hunter Lawrence won the first moto, I thought, okay, he's on his way to a 1-1 sweep, and that didn't happen. So obviously, 2 perfect seasons is not going to happen for Honda this year, but one is still alive. Okay, so Jett Lawrence kept it alive, going 10-0, but I'm starting to believe more and more that Jett Lawrence is going to sweep the season. He already passed David Bailey for 8 in a row. Now he's got 10. So I'm glad that crash from Hunter Lawrence in the first moto didn't affect Jett at all. So I don't know what it's going to take to beat Jett Lawrence. It could be himself. But Sexton, I thought, for first race back from Chase Sexton since the opener at Paula, I thought he did okay. I was kind of thinking he might be a little closer to Jett, though. But then again, you do got to race yourself back into shape. Cooper Webb not riding today at Redbud. Oh, that was a bummer. And I'll tell you this, for Cooper Webb to not compete today, I think that might have played a factor in why an American did not win the 450 class today, but I could be wrong. I thought Sexton looked good for his first race back, but hey, sometimes you just got to race yourself back into shape. I thought when he was all over Ferrandis that Sexton was going to get around him, and Ferrandis was a sitting duck, because on the Rocky Mountain site, I had it as Lawrence, Sexton, and I had I think someone else for third. I had Cian Cirillo for third because I thought he was kind of coming into his own. But nope, he ended up pulling out of the first moto after that crash with Ty Masterpool. And Masterpool, that was such a disappointment. I picked him on the Pulp MX site. He did really good in the first moto, albeit he had a bike issue. And but hey, I was proven right in the 250 class. I'll get to that in a little bit. But I'm going to say this right now. If you think Ty Masterpool is going to get on the podium in the 450 class this summer, believe it, because he will. I'm calling it right now. Ty Masterpool will be on a podium before this motocross championship is over. And I'll tell you what, if the last two races were any indication, he's got the starts. He can ride the 450 really well. And I'll tell you this, if I'm Kawasaki right now, I'm getting on the phone and calling him up. Because is Masterpool that good? Yes. Can he put together a podium ride with factory support? Certainly. But the fact that he only races motocross just kind of puts a dent in that. Kind of puts a dent in his chances. And you know what? For Ty Masterpool, I thought he was, and not only was, and you know, when I saw him drop down in the standings, I was like, oh no. And then when I saw him on the sidelines with the bike problem, and it was probably residual from the first moto, I sure hope that he did get Kawasaki's attention, or factory Kawasaki's attention, to a point where maybe they'll give him some factory support. But hey, you know, Ty Masterpool, I really think he'll be on the podium. You got what it takes, and I think for sure that we will see that guy on the podium in a moto and an overall, because he's proven he's got the pace. And the fact that he's been giving a lot of headaches to Plessinger and Dylan Ferrandis has got to be getting their attention for sure. But anyway, as far as the 250 class is concerned, whoop, 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 whoop. Haiden Deegan, you proved me right. I have said so many times that Haiden Deegan will win a race this season. And he couldn't do it in Supercross, but I thought for sure he would win a race in motocross. He proved me right. He went 2-3 on the day after Hunter Lawrence crashed out. And I've been saying in so many past live streams or videos that I've been doing on Supercross and motocross, I've been saying that as long as Haiden Deegan does not lay an egg on the start, he will win an overall. After he won the first moto at Hangtown, I thought, okay, if he doesn't goof up on the start in the second moto, we're gonna see him in an overall win. And what better place to do it than at Redbud? And I'll tell you what, it was all Honda for the first 4 races with Hunter Lawrence winning. And now Haiden Deegan got himself a win and stopped the Redcoats for sure, to say the least. But anyway, Haiden Deegan, I knew you were going to win one. It was just a matter of time. So hey, Deegs, shout out. I know that Haiden, I know you're feeling really like $1 million, and I know that Brian Deegan has got to be wondering, why didn't I have a career like him in racing? But anyway, if any of you guys saw that Peacock footage of Brian Deegan showing the 97 LA Supercross where he won the 125 main and ghost rode his Suzuki over the finish line jump. Did I think Haiden Deegan was going to do that? No. I didn't think he would do something that stupid. But back then, it was like, you could do what you want. The 90s were like, you could do what you want, you know? But hey, that's the first one, and I know we're going to have many more, you know? Because I've been saying in one of Cooksy's live streams that Deegan reminds me of Fonseca. That's proof right there, you know? I thought that Deegan rode pretty aggressive, and I thought and he doesn't ride completely over his head, you know. And as long as he didn't lay an egg on the start, we were going to see him in the winner's circle, and that's what happened. So I can see someone in my live stream, so if you can hear me, that's great. You know, obviously, Haiden Deegan winning one, that's a big monkey off the back for sure. Because I've been saying time and time again, if Haiden Deegan does not lay an egg on the start, he's going to win an overall this year. And that's your proof. So, you know. But hey, congrats, Haiden. I know you're feeling really great right now. That's the first one, and I know you're going to have many more. So we'll see how Deegan does at Southwick. We'll see if Hunter Lawrence will be back for Southwick. But also, sticking with the 250 class, I have to admit, though, that a couple of disappointments were Justin Cooper and Joe Shimoda. Because Shimoda, when he went off the track just during the rollers, and he jumped back on, I kind of thought, I think he's going to be penalized. And it turns out I was right. But what I didn't know was that Justin Cooper was going to get penalized as well for jumping on that red crossfire. And, you know, obviously that's a no-no. But, hey, for Cooper to jump on a red cross flag, oh, my goodness. I'm just glad that that guy that was down was off to the left side. And of course, the main line was going to the right. So obviously, Cooper, I thought Jay Coop would have done a little better than 4-4 for third overall. But I hope that second moto win for Levi Kitchen does something for his season for sure. And going back to the 450 class, I actually thought that Cianciarulo was going to get third. And he was looking okay until he went down and took Masterpool with him. And once he pulled out, I was like, why? You know, but I guess something did act up with AC. And he rebounded for a 6th in the second moto. But as far as the Super Motocross, or as Cooksey calls it, Super Duper Cross. By the way, Cooksey, I think that's a better name. It's a lot more appealing. But hey, anyway, with Cooper Webb not riding today, he surrendered the Super Motocross point standings, or the Super Duper Cross points lead back to Chase Sexton. And Sexton with his 2-3 on the day got himself up into back up to the top 10 in points. But it's starting to look very likely that Chase Sexton won't win this championship unless Jett Lawrence has multiple breakdowns and Sexton can put together, I say 6-7 in a row, but 6 or 7 moto wins in a row. But you know what? But that just proves that anything can happen. And, you know, especially what we saw in the 250 class with Hunter Lawrence going down in the first turn of the second moto. But good news is Hunter is supposedly okay. I'm very certain we'll see him at Southwick. But Jett Lawrence, the way I see it right now, Jett Lawrence can run the table until the final round in Indiana. He's that good. you know? So I only see one person in my live stream, but I've pretty much been given my take on this. But but a guy that I thought would have a better day in the 450 class was Ty Masterpool, and I already went over why. But hey, Jason Anderson, shout out to you, man, with the first race of the motocross season, and he ends up going 5-7 for 5th overall. I was actually pretty surprised there because Anderson, I kind of thought was a top 10 at best, maybe like towards the end of the top 10, or maybe on the outskirts of 5th place, but didn't work out. He actually did a lot better than I thought. Joshua, the Bucks fan. Hey, what's up? So Anderson 5th overall for today, 5-7. I actually was, like I said, I was very surprised. I still think that, hey, first race back for Anderson. Sometimes you just got to get in the flow. Of course, obviously, you're not going to win a race in your first race back unless you've been prepping night and day on and off the stationary bike and all that. But El Hombre, I think that's the first, and I think that we will see Anderson up in the top 10 by the time the season's over. At least in motocross, anyway. So I'm coming up on 17 minutes. So anyway, guys, I guess that's it for today. I don't see anyone in my live stream. So we'll hope that I should say Hunter Lawrence is okay. And we'll see him back for the next round of Southwick. So hopefully he'll be all right. And hopefully we'll see Ty Masterpool on the podium, and I'll be proven right in the 450 class anyway. So anyway, guys, I will catch you later.